Akgün was born in Amsterdam-West to Turkish immigrant parents who came searching for a better life. The neighborhood was rough. Kids grew up fast, learning to fight, hustle, and survive. Ali wasn't born evil. He was born hungry. Hungry for respect in a world that gave him none. His parents worked hard. His father in construction, his mother cleaning offices. But Ali saw that hard work didn't bring power. The men who drove nice cars and wore gold chains weren't construction workers. They were the street kings. That's when the dream shifted. He didn't want stability. He wanted control. Ali dropped out of school early. He learned how to make deals, how to intimidate, and how to make money fast. Small thefts turned into drug runs. By his late teens, he was already known in the Turkish-Dutch circles as someone who didn't back down. Ali's boldness got the attention of local drug dealers. He became an enforcer, collecting debts, protecting shipments, and making problems disappear. He loved the adrenaline, the money, and the respect. Every time someone said, "Ali's coming," people stepped aside. By his mid-20s, Ali was working with serious figures, men connected to the same underworld that produced giants like Klaas Bruinsma and Willem Holleder. He wasn't just a street thug anymore. He was part of a growing empire that mixed cocaine, extortion, and fear. Ali's reputation grew fast. He was known as someone who would rather shoot than talk, but he also had a strange code. He didn't hurt innocents, and he despised traitors. Loyalty was his religion, and betrayal was his only unforgivable sin. Ali built ties with notorious criminals, people like Sam Klepper, John Miramet, and Willem Holleder. He became one of the trusted middlemen in drug distribution across Amsterdam. But in the underworld, alliances never last forever. What made Ali powerful was not just muscle. It was his connections. He could reach Turkish suppliers, Balkan smugglers, and Dutch distributors. He knew everyone, and everyone knew him. That made him both valuable and dangerous. By the early 2000s, tension rose between the old underworld and the new. Younger groups wanted power. Old names like Holleder and Miramet were fighting internal wars. Ali tried to stay neutral, but in Amsterdam, neutrality often gets you killed. In 2003, Ali survived an assassination attempt outside a cafe. Bullets shattered glass, people screamed, and Ali crawled away bleeding but alive. Everyone knew what it meant. Someone wanted him gone. From that day, he stopped walking without a gun. After the attempt, Ali stopped trusting anyone. Friends became potential enemies. He traveled often, Germany, Belgium, Turkey, always changing his routine. The once confident enforcer had turned into a hunted man. The Dutch underworld was bleeding. Men who once shared drinks were now sharing death threats. Every week, another car exploded, another body was found. Ali knew he was in the middle of something that couldn't end well. Dutch police knew who Ali was. He wasn't a ghost. He had been linked to extortion, drug trafficking, and several disappearances. He had served time, but never for long. He was too careful, too smart, always 2 steps ahead. Behind the tough image, Ali had a softer side. He loved his family. His mother, his children, and his younger siblings. He sent money home, visited often, and cared deeply about his roots. He just couldn't leave the life that gave him identity. Ali invested his earnings in legitimate businesses, restaurants, car dealerships, even small import companies. To outsiders, he was a businessman. To those who knew, he was a man laundering blood money. In the criminal world, every deal creates enemies. Ali had plenty. Old rivals, jealous partners, and those who feared he knew too much. He started hearing rumors that contracts were out on his head. Ali's biggest mistake was trusting the wrong man. Someone close, a supposed ally, sold information about his movements. That betrayal sealed his fate long before the final bullet was fired. By 2013, Ali decided to spend more time in Istanbul. He said it was for business, but everyone knew he was hiding. He believed Turkey would be safer. surrounded by his own people, far from Amsterdam's gang wars. In Istanbul, Ali tried to live quietly. He kept his circle small and spent time with family. But paranoia never left him. He never sat with his back to the door, never took the same road twice. On December 24, 2014, Ali received a call. Witnesses said he smiled during the conversation. It sounded like a friend inviting him out. That friend would later vanish and never be found. That evening, as Ali sat in his car outside a cafe in Istanbul's Sizli district, two men on a motorcycle approached. One fired multiple shots through the window. Ali died instantly. The killers vanished into the night. News spread fast. Dutch gangster AliAkgün shot dead in Istanbul. In Amsterdam, old enemies smiled quietly. In Turkey, his family wept. The streets whispered that justice, or revenge, had finally come. Turkish police found little. The motorcycle was stolen, the gun dumped in a canal. No arrests were made. In Amsterdam, detectives barely reacted. It was just another chapter in a long underworld war. By that time, nearly every major figure from the old Dutch underworld was dead. Bruinsma, Klepper, Miramet, Hillis. Now Ali's name was added to that grim list. Another casualty of a world built on greed and betrayal. Ali's mother collapsed when she heard the news. His brothers traveled to Turkey for the funeral. They buried him quietly, away from cameras, away from danger. Even in death, Ali's shadow brought fear. At family gatherings, his mother still kept a chair empty. Ali will come back one day, she used to whisper, but everyone knew he wouldn't. The boy who wanted power had found his end far from home. In Amsterdam's underworld, nobody spoke publicly. But whispers said Ali's murder was ordered by an old associate, someone afraid he might reveal secrets about unsolved hits. The code of silence remained unbroken. Ali had lived by loyalty, yet it was loyalty that destroyed him. The very people he once protected were the same ones who turned against him. In the underworld, love and death often share the same face. Even after his death, the trade continued. Younger men replaced him, the business grew, and Amsterdam remained one of Europe's biggest drug ports. The game never ends. Only the players change. People who knew Ali still talk about him with a mix of respect and dread. He wasn't a hero, but he wasn't a coward either. He lived and died by his own rules, and that made him unforgettable. Dutch detectives kept his file open for years, linking him to dozens of criminal operations. But after his death, the case was quietly closed. Too many witnesses were gone, too many records destroyed. Ali's story became symbolic of how deep Dutch crime had spread internationally. From the streets of Amsterdam to the cafes of Istanbul, where deals were made and debts were settled in blood. Ali's death showed younger criminals that power never guarantees safety. No matter how far you run, your sins follow. And in the world Ali lived in, death is the only retirement. Some said Ali was dangerous but loyal. Others called him unpredictable and cruel. Everyone agreed on one thing. When he entered a room, the air changed. You could feel his presence before you saw him. Only close family attended his burial. No big names, no flowers from old friends. Fear kept everyone away. The Amsterdam underworld had moved on, and Ali was just another ghost. In interviews, his mother once said, "I wish I never let him go to those streets." Her tears spoke the truth. No mother dreams her son will become a gangster. Within months, the media forgot him. Other killings replaced his story. But for those who knew him, Ali's name still carried a warning. Don't trust the life that promises too much too fast. Even today, in Amsterdam's darker corners, people whisper his name with caution. Some still owe him money. Some still owe him death. His ghost still lingers where old debts remain unpaid. Ali's life stands as a warning that crime gives power, but never peace. He died rich, feared, and alone. The three things most gangsters end up becoming. In the end, AliAkgün's story is not about success or crime. It's about choices. Every deal, every bullet, every betrayal led him here. A cold street in Istanbul, and a name that became a legend no one wants to inherit.